Yes.
It's clear, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, fine. Thank you. Okay. So in the yesterday's session, right, I was just briefing you about the installation and execution modes of Python, right? How to install Python, right? How to download and how to install step by step, right? So, okay. Whenever we install Python, go to the start programs, check where your Python is available within this Python 3.10. The first thing what we see in my Python 3.8, 3.9, 3.10, multiple versions you can install, right? 3.10 ideally, but within the 3.10 you cannot install two versions. 3.10.8 is that what we have installed yesterday, but 3.10.7, 3.10.8 both you cannot install, but 3.8, 3.9, 3.10 that you can install. So here ideally, right, integrated development learning environment, if we click it, Python shell gets opened, right? So yesterday just we had a small problem in the software. So now if we click it, Python shell gets open, right? So you can work with interactive mode. You can interact with Python. X equal to Virat, Y equal to Kohli. X plus Y gives Virat Kohli. So in this way you can just interact, right? So that X plus Y. Is anybody got any issues in the installation part?
No, sir. How to use space in Virat space calling?
Pardon?
Uh,
Can anyone please
how
repeat?
to give the space?
Can anyone please repeat the query? It's
So actually, he wants to give a space between Virat and Kohli.
yeah, okay, yes. So if you want space between Virat and Kohli, right, you want space between them. So X is one string, Y is one. So what you can do is X plus one space plus Y. So X is one string, space is one string, Y is one string. You will get Virat Kohli, right? I want between this X and Y, I want one space. You add it.
My one question is like, which ID basically we use to for programming?
So here PyCharm is the mostly used ID. We'll be using it, right?
So currently we are in PyCharm only, what?
PyCharm is the one we'll be using.
So currently which are is showing that is a PyCharm only, right?
No, it's not PyCharm. This comes along with the Python installation.
Okay.
So this is what, whenever we install Python, we'll get this ideally. So whenever we install Python in the start programs, you'll see that Python folder will be there. There in the Python folder, you can see 3.10. This ideally you can see this is what I'm using. If we click it, this shell gets opened like this, right?
Okay.
Fine. Okay, fine. So if so all the videos, I don't know like whether you got or not, but we will be getting all the videos from the session 1 onwards, right? So you can just go to the video if you anyone not done with the installation part, right? Just it hardly takes 2 to 3 minutes for installing Python, right? So if you are facing any problem, let me know in the installation, right? So today my discussion will be on Python data types, right? Python data types. So every organization, if you talk about any organization, every organization use case, every organization use case has got data and operations, data represented using using data types or variables, data represented using data types or variables. Operations, if we talk about operations represented using functions. For example, any organization has got data and operations, right? For example, if you take a bank, right? What is the data and what are the operations? Data and operations. Data means customer name, customer account number, address, balance, all this, right, comes as data. Operations means deposit operation, withdraw operation, transfer operation. Okay. Yes. Yeah, Mallikarjun Rao, right? Yes, you will be getting the previous videos. Those who are, say, if anyone, if you are just this, if this is the first session, right? You will be getting the previous session videos, right? Okay, we have
Sir,
done.
is this the first class for Python data type that before history is done? I was the first, it was the first class for mine.
So yeah, that's what I am saying, that previously like 2 sessions were there, the 2 videos you'll be getting, right? Basic like Python demo and yesterday just we have done with the one. So you'll be getting that recorded videos of those 2 sessions. You can just go through it.
Notes also will be getting, sir.
Yeah, clear notes also you'll be getting of it.
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. So I was talking about every organization has got data and operations, data represented using data types, operations represented using functions. Data means customer data, employee data, customer name, account number, address, balance, employee ID, employee, all this is data. Operations means deposit operation, withdraw operations, transfer operations, right? They are represented using functions. So yeah, yes, right. Functions I'll be discussing later, but our discussion is on data types and variables, right? Variables. So today I'm just entering into the technical part of Python, right? Yes. Yeah, just observe this. In Python, dynamic data types. If we compare C, C++, Java with Python, right? Yes. C, C++, Java with Python. If comparison with this, Python supports dynamic data types. It supports dynamic data types. What do you mean by dynamic data types? In other programming language like C, C++, Java, if I want to say x equal to 10, compulsorily I need to say int, right? Data type defining compulsory. Without data type defining, this variable x cannot be created. Y equal to 4.5, right? I need to say float if for any decimal values, right? Z equal to, for example, HELLO, right? I need to say string Z, right? So without this data type defining, I cannot create the variables x, y, z. It's compulsory and mandatory, right? But in Python, directly I can say x as 10. Just now I was saying x equal to Virat, y equal to Kohli, right? So here no need to say that directly. I can say 4.5, z equal to hello, right? But you may ask a query, right? Here, what kind of variable x is means based on this data type defining, you are saying it is an integer variable created. It is a float variable, it is a string variable based on the data type defining. But here, what kind of variable x is? What kind of variable x is? What kind of variable x is means? What value you have assigned to it? What value you have assigned to it? Based on the value assigned.
Integer.
Based on the value assigned, the variable x is going to get created. Integer variable created. You may ask why integer variable created means? Okay, x equal to 10 means yes, a integer variable created. Integer variable created Why integer variable created means you assign an integer variable. So there is a function in Python, type function, to know the type of a variable. Type of X integer, type Y it is integer. You have assigned an integer value. That's why integer variable created dynamically here. Type of Y, try to answer. I want the sessions to be interactive, right? I want the sessions.
Float.
Live sessions means you need to interact from both the sides, right? Type of Y is what type?
Float.
Yes,
Float type.
float type. Why it is float? Because you have assigned a float value. Based on the value assigned, the variables are going to get created dynamically. That's why we call as dynamic data types. Type of Z. Type of Z
String.
is what type?
String type.
String type, str we say. But if you say p equal to 10, 20, 30, that's it. In other language we say like array of elements, but here just
List.
say square bracket. Type of p is what type?
List.
List type, right? Okay, so this is what dynamic data types. If you're assigning a list, type of p is list. If you're assigning a string, type of z is string. If you're assigning a float, type of y is. So no need to specify this data types here in Python, right? Directly we say as x, y, z, p, right? Yes. Understood, right? Any query in this, anyone? Dynamic
how
data. Yes.
Python, like Python virtual machine internally knows like we are assigning int or long or something. For example, instead of x is there, I write x is equal to 1 million. So how does it internally, verifies if it is int or long or something like that?
So 1 second, if you have idea about Java, right? Java means everything is object oriented. 1 second. So in Python, if you talk int, float, string, list, anything if you take, all these are, int is a class, float is a class, string is a class, list is a class. All these are classes here in Python. In other programming language, yes, please be in mute. Yes.
Thank you.
Sabdya Rani, right? Gentla. Please be in mute. So here, yes. So just I am keeping you in the unmuted status to just give the response and to have some live, to have some interaction, right? So if you got any background noise, please try to give your response through chat panel. You can type your response in the chat. So here in C language, integer occupies 2 bytes. In Java, integer occupies 4 bytes. But in Python, it's a class. There won't be any specific size, right? So if you go this interactive mode, if I go to this interactive mode, 1 second. Okay. X equal to 10, x equal to 10. If I say type of x means class int, it will say. Y equal to 4.5. Type of y is what type? Float, class float. So z equal to HELLO, hello, right? No need to specify the data type of z. Type of z is
String.
string, str, string, right? If we say x equal to 10, 20, 30, 10, 20, 30, right? Yes.
Class list.
Type of x is what? List type. So the same thing, if I say y equal to this bracket, if I use 10, 20, to 10, 20, 30, right? So it's I'll be discussing all this. So if you're new to this, right, don't worry, like we'll be discussing all these data types in brief. Type of y is tuple type, right? Yes. Okay. So coming to this, you need to understand in brief internally what is happening, right? So if as a developer, I'm getting lot of sounds from someone, right? So you will be removed from the meeting if you're disturbing the meeting, right? Yes. So once again, I'm saying, right, if you've got any background noise, please keep in mute and just give the response through chat. Yes. uh, As a developer, you need to know if I apply any functionality, what output you are going to get. Yes, in the same way, whenever you define some variables or data types, right, you need to know internally what is happening within the memory level also. That is okay, not just having some coding, what happens internally, how many objects are getting created, single object or multiple objects. So here, first, let me go with defining variable. I'll come back to this data types, but before that, defining variables in Python. So first I'll show you, next I'll show you practically, right? Define case one. I'm going to discuss 4 cases now. Case one, defining variables in Python. Defining variables. So defining variables, right? Yes.
Sir, how internally it knows like it is int or it is something? So that was my question actually.
So that is what Python supports. So Python, it is a dynamic type. It's a dynamic typed language.
Yeah, like who
Dynamic,
text of this dynamic?
dynamic type means compulsory you need to assign some value. If you're not assigning a value, it gives error, name error. So here, if you just see this, if you go back into this shell. So here I'm saying X. No, don't say X. So
Sir, but memory, how?
So here A is not defined. Compulsory A should be defined with some value. If A is defined with 4.5, it will say it's a float type. Type of A will be float type. In other programming,
In C, will be having some specific bytes to store integer. Exceeding that, will be storing a long int.
yes. So in Python,
How?
yes. So in Python, that's what I was saying. Everything is a class. Int is a class, float is a. So that's what in other programming language, they are going to have some bytes, 2 bytes, 4 bytes. But in Python, class, there won't be any specific size for a class. So int is a class, float is a class, string is a class. That's why I was showing you, right? It's a class. Later, I'll be briefing you about that class and object, right? But as of now, just keep in mind. So by dynamic data types means what value you are assigning to that. Based on the value assigned, the variables are going to get created dynamically. So by that's the reason Python is giving a function called type function to know the type of a variable. In other programming, you won't see that variable function type. But why in Python? Because you need, if you want to know what type it is. So based upon the what value you are assigning, the variable gets created dynamically here in Python. So here now I'm going to show you internally what happening when you define a variable, right? So I'm going to discuss 4 cases here. Try to observe carefully. Lot of things you need to observe. Whenever you define a variable, what happens internally, how to print, how to see the address. So whenever you say x equal to 10, observe, whenever you say x equal to 10, right? Internally, one object gets created with value 10. Internally, one object with value 10 gets created. The object is going to occupy some address, right? Physical memory location address. Assume that it is stored at so and so location, it's so and so address. This address will be given to x. Observe, x equal to 10. If you are defining, that is going to be stored in the memory. At what memory location it is getting stored, that is, this is the address. So here, what x is storing, don't say like x is storing 10. X stores the address. Observe here, x stores the address. Here 3 things you need to understand carefully. Print x, if I say print x, right, it goes to this address. At this address, whatever content is present, that content it is going to print. Observe, x equal to 10, an object with value 10 gets created with some address. The address is given to x. So whenever I say print x, it goes to that address and prints the content at that address. So there is no Python is not a compilation language. So everything during runtime only. That's why dynamic type we say, right? During runtime only, the variable is going to get created. Print x means prints, observe, prints the content at that address. Prints the content at that address. Okay, what is the content at that address? 10. Observe here, print x means directly it goes to that address and prints the content at that address. Interpreter means executes line by line. Compiler means it executes the entire code at once and gives that errors if you got any errors, right? So if I want to print the address of x, there is a function called id. Id of x means print
Hello? Sir, we are not able to hear.
Sir, voice is breaking.
Hello?
Hello. Yes, sir. Able to hear you.
Hello, anyone is there?
Yes,
I think Sar got disconnected.
I think so.
Yes.
That yeah, bro. There are some technical issues probably. That's the reason she's left.
Okay, okay, okay. Who is Pushpak? Pushpak, you can check that sir is available or not. I think he's a host, right? Pushpa.
I think it's got assigned automatically.
Yeah, Sari is back, I think.
Yeah, I think sir is got.
Yes, yes. My voice is clear, whether the screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine.
Cut. So I was out of the meeting. Sorry. So here I was talking about the dynamic. So defining variables in Python, print x prints the content at that address, id of x, the address, right? Prints the address of x, 03070. Print prints the data type of x. Prints the data type of x. That is what? Int type. So here three things you need to understand. Whenever I say print x, prints the content 10. If I say print id of x, prints the address. Prints the data type. Fine, right? Is my voice clear and audible to all?
Yes.
Yes, sir. But sometimes it's breaking your voice.
Is it breaking?
Yeah, now it's clear. Let's see, sir.
Now observe this case 2. So if I define some variable, internally what happens? An object create. If we say print x, prints the address type of x. Case 2. Now you need to answer me, right, everyone? X equal to 10, y equal to 20. Two variables if I am defining. Getting created internally, yes. Internally, how many objects? For 10, one object.
Your voice is breaking, sir, actually.
2 objects.
Y equal to 20. Yes, one more object. So my hello. Is my voice clear now?
No, sir. Lot of disturbance.
X equal to 10, y equal to 20. Yes, two different objects. Two different addresses, right? Yes. Print x, right? What is the text value it is going to print? Everyone try to answer. What is x? 10, right?
Maybe we can lose some space.
Print id of x. id of x is what?
Address.
103070.
70, yes. Type of X is what type?
Integer.
Integer.
Integer type, right? Now try to say print Y is what?
20.
Yeah, print Y is 20. Yes. Print ID of Y, right?
1044070.
104070. Yes. Yes. Type of Y. Type of Y. Yes. Type of Y is what type? Integer type, right? So here two different variables. Observe carefully. Two different variables with two different values, with two different objects, with two different addresses, right? So print X address type. You need to understand this, right? If you want to print the content, print X. If you want to print the address where exactly it is stored, ID of X. Type of X means where what is what type it is, right? Yes. This is case 2.
Sir, if both point to the same memory location, will they share the memory location?
Yeah, that is case 3. I will be discussing, right? Yes. Case 3. Fine, right? Anyone? Case 2. Now observe this case 3. So if you are new to the programming, if it's zero programming knowledge, right, I recommend you to go with running notes, right? You need to make notes parallelly, right? Yes. Now observe this case 3, right? Case 2 is this.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
So why we write ID?
ID is
Yes, yes, sir.
ID is a function, just like print function. ID is also a function which is used to print the address of that X, where exactly it is stored in the memory. So ID means to know the address of X where it is stored.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Type is a function to know the data type, right? And print is a function to print the value of a variable. Python inbuilt. So here answer everyone try to answer. If you have got any query, can ask the queries, right? X equal to 10. Now try to answer how many objects gets created. How many objects will be created?
The two.
One object.
One object.
One or two? Everyone.
One.
So observe carefully
The
here.
two objects will be created for X and Y.
So
If-
here
X is one variable, Y is one variable.
So I
two
think
objects won't be created.
Two integers given. I said two integers.
So two
But
objects will be
same value,
created
no,
here.
sir.
If
It
it is
will
X,
share.
if it is X is equal to Y, that time
Only one object will be created. X value is 10, Y value is 10. Here, how many objects created means?
So two objects will be created.
Observe here what happens. X is 10, Y is 10, Z is 10. Now try to say how object.
So three objects.
One, only one.
So okay, hold on, just let me complete. So here X equal to 10 means one object gets created. First observe for 10 means one object gets created, okay, with value 10 with some address, okay, and this address will be given to X. That is so creating object for Y, right? Y equal to 10. It checks any object with value 10 is already available. If not available, it will create a new object. If already available, right, same address will be given to Y. For Z, it will check if any object with value 10, if it is already available, right? If available, the same address will be given to Z. This means here 3 objects with value 10 is not going to get created here. 3 objects with value 10 is not going to get created. Only one object with value 10. Same address will be given to XYZ. So you won't be creating duplicate objects with value 10, right? Only one object here. But if X value 10, Y value 20, Z value 30, now try to say how many objects? If X is 10, yes. If X is 10, Y is 20, Z is 30, 3 objects. Means simply just keep in mind, if the values are same, one object. If the values are different, multiple objects.
Sir, if we are assigning, if we use assignment operand and I'll assign X is equals to Y, then it will take only one.
Okay. X equal to, for example, X equal to 30. Assume X equal to 30. One object gets created. One object gets created with some address. The address is given to X, right? Now, what you are trying to Y equal to X. Y equal to X means what you are trying to assign to Y. What you are assigning to Y means
Address.
X address only you are assigning to Y, means this address only you are assigning to Y.
Then changes made on X will be showing.
Pardon?
I mean that if any changes made on X,
Okay, yes.
then
Yes.
those both will
Yes.
point to the same address or not?
Yes, good query, good question, right? So here observe.
You can't change.
Yes, exactly right. Yes, Mallikarjuna Rao, right? So observe careful here. If X value is modified, so here everyone try to answer. If I say now, say the address of in this example, right? If X address and Y address are same or different?
Same.
X address and Y address are same or different? Same, right? Same here, right? So the same X address is assigned to Y. So the one more query asked was, if I modify the X value to 40, if X value modified to 40 means, do you think Y value also gets modified?
Yes.
No, a
Yes,
new
sir.
object will be created.
No. Try to say my answer. If X value modified to 40, do you think Y also modifies? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Y also gets
No,
modified?
no.
Everyone.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So the answer is no. The answer is what? No. Observe carefully here. Okay. If X value modified to 40, 40 means a new object gets created, right? New object gets created with value 40 with some address. That address is given to X. Now X is pointing to the new object. X is not pointing to this now. X is pointing to the new object. Now where Y is pointing? Where Y is pointing? To the old object. To the old object only.
Old object.
Y is pointing to the old object only. X cannot point to two objects. X will point to only one object. X can store the address of only one object, right? Yes. Understanding everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, just 1 second. 1 second. Yes, observe this, right? X equal to 10, Y equal to 10, Z equal to 10. I hope now my voice is clear now.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Print X. So here X, Y, Z, they are sharing the same content 10. They are sharing the same address, right? Observe. Print X, print Y, print Z. All are same, right? Prints 10 only, right? So the address also. Print address of X, address of Y,
Same.
Address of Z also same 10307070, right? I will show you all these things practically. I'll show you all these 4 cases practically, right?
Sir, one small question here.
Yes.
So Python is memory optimized as compared to the Java because
Yes.
here non-duplicate.
Yes. So here as compared, many reasons are there for that, right? Not only that, you see very less codings, you see, if you see in this object creations also, so that everything, lot of reasons are there. You will be seeing all this in the coming sessions, right? And understood at this case 3, everyone? If the contents are same, one object. If the contents are different, multiple. So with this example, Python is good in memory management. It happens dynamically allocated, right? Yes, dynamic. That's the main advantage. That is one of the advantage, right? Dynamic typed language, but other languages static typed. Python is dynamic typed. No need to even see, all the unnecessary statements are getting removed. No need of, yes.
Sir, if we want to store same element in different locations, so how we can do this?
If you want to store same
Element in different location.
same value in different locations means, example,
Yes.
x equal to 10, y also 10, you are saying?
Yes, sir.
X equal to 10, y equal to 10. No. Compulsory, only one object gets created in that memory. You cannot have, see here, object is creating for value or variable. For value,
Sir,
the object, for value, the object is getting created, or for variable name, it is getting created. Value. If you say 100
Sir.
tens, x is 10, y is x1 is 10, x2 is 10, x3, x4, xy, x70, 10. For all the tens, only one object will be created. Only one object gets created. Even how many times you define initialize for x, for y, for z, for w, right? It first internally, before creating the next variable, right, it checks whether that object available. If available, then fine. So here, okay. Not only,
even though class will be different, then also memory will be same.
class, if class is different, then the address also will be different.
Yeah, then we can create, right, x and y different memory allocation.
One thing you
With,
keep one thing you keep in mind, right? If you got see here, 1 second. X is, for example, X is a list you take 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, right? Y is another list. Y is another list 10, 70, 40, 20, 30. Z is another list 10, 20, 30, 40. Observing this, all these 3 variables, right? This 10 is there, right? For this 10, one object gets created. So try to say this 10, this 10, this 10, are they same or different?
Sir, I think
it is
different.
Same.
This 10 is a part of this X list. This 10 is part of Y list. This is part of Z.
Different, sir. 3
Different,
will be
sir.
So here, observe carefully here. 10, one object with some address is given to this. Given to this. Given to this. Even it is part of a different list also. For 10, only one object. All this 10, this 10, this 10 is same. So generally 10, if you are storing in X, or if you are storing in Y, or if you are storing in a list, for 10, the value 10, only one address you will be getting, not different addresses.
Sir, in the list there it is 10, sir. If we'll print a type of X, it will give class list.
List,
Then
yes.
these three classes are different or same?
See here, print X list, print Y list, print Z also list.
Oh.
Three different lists. Three different lists.
Yes, sir. So three different memory allocations will be getting the sir.
For list, yes, three different memory allocations for the list, but within, okay, very simple, right? Here, X equal to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. For this also one object gets created. For this list also one object gets created. Just like X equal to 10, right? Here also. But this is what? It will store 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values. So this we call it as X of 0 indexed, X of 1, X of 2, X of 3, X of 4, right? This object is going to have some address. This address is given to X. So X of 0 is storing what? 10. It is going to have some address. This address is stored by X of 0. X of 1 again storing 20, right?
20.
It is going to have its address. This address is given to X of 1. X of 2 is what? 30. Means
Sir,
what
that
is
10,
what is
0,
let
1, 0, 3,
no,
0,
no, no,
7,
no,
0 is the base address, sir.
This 1030 is this X list address. This X of 0 is this first integer address. Type of X of 0 integer type. Type of X is list. X of 0 means integer.
Integer.
What value assigned to X of 0? 10. 10 means what? Integer. Yes. So list is a collection of values. List is a collection of objects, right? So for this also 40, this 50. But if there is one more list, in that again 10 is there, means it will take this 10 only. One more 10 won't be created for it.
Okay, sir.
Understood, right, everyone? Yes. So these things, everything we will be discussing in brief in collection data types, right? So simple thing, a object collection of values. List is a collection of values. This we call it as collection data type. Integer is fundamental. Okay, that is we'll be discussing all those in brief in collections, right? Collections in Python. So okay, case 3 understood, right? Now observe this case 4 now. Observe this case 4. X value 10. X value 10. X value 20. Try to answer now. X is 10, X is 20. My voice clear, right? Or is it still breaking?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Clear, right?
One object for X equals to 20, last one.
X equal to 10, X equal to 20. How many objects? First try to say, everyone. How many objects?
Two, sir, two.
Two objects.
See here, previously X and Y I have taken, but this time X and X I have taken. Previous example XY. Now I have taken XX only. How many objects?
One object.
Two objects, sir.
Two, sir. Two.
Two objects, right? So here objects gets created for the values. Then one object, for 21 object. This address is given to X. That's fine. One object. So here observe carefully. Two objects gets created. Two objects gets created. Up to here it's fine. But if I say print X, Now try to answer what is the X value it prints, whether it will print 10 or whether it will print 20 or whether it will print both 10, 20 or error.
Error. Last one it will be printed. Whatever last statement.
What is that? First X value was 10, the next X value is 20. So what is the value it prints?
Then 20.
20. The latest value, it always prints the latest value. So the address of X is what? Address of X is 104080. So okay, up to here it's fine, but what happens to the previous this 10 object 10 is, can I print that? If I say print X 20, again second time I will say print X, what is the value it prints? 20 only, right?
20.
Third time again I will execute print X, it will print 20. 10 times if I execute, it will print 20 only, right? Is there any possibility of printing this value 10? What happens to this object? What happens to this object? Is it okay? What happens to this object? Can I print value 10? Means if you want to know what happens to this object, right? If you want to know what is happening to this object, you need to know a concept called garbage collector. So it is too early to discuss this concept garbage collector, but as of now I'll just give an overview about it, what it is. But later in our course we discuss in brief with multiple examples. To know what happens to this object means, yes, I'll go back to this case 3. I'll go back to this case 3 and I'll just explain it, right? What happens to this object, and I'll come back to this, right? Yes. X equal to 10. What is case 3?
Z equal to 10.
How many objects?
3 object. 1 object.
Only one object, right? X, Y, Z. That's fine. Now observe carefully, right? Garbage collector. What do you mean by garbage collector, right? So, once if you understand this, right? No need to prepare anything. If you go for interview, right? Directly you can, no need of any revision also. Once if you understand the topic, once you are done with the practical part, directly see here garbage collector. What is a garbage collector? Means removes unused object or unreferred object removes unused object or unreferred object from the memory. What is the use of garbage collector? Removes unused object or unreferred object from the memory, right? Yes. Okay. You may ask immediately, what do you mean by unused object? What do you mean by unreferred object? Okay, for that, object whose reference count becomes 0. Object whose reference count becomes 0. Then unused object means object whose reference count becomes 0. We call it as unused or unreferred object. Object whose reference count becomes 0, we call it as unused or unreferred. Then immediately that object is removed automatically. That object is removed automatically from the memory. Object whose reference count becomes 0, then immediately that object is removed automatically from the memory by garbage collector. So when garbage collector removes an object means, if any object reference count becomes 0, right, then immediately that object gets removed automatically by garbage collector. So you may ask, what is this reference count becoming 0? What is this reference count? Reference count means simple. Number of variables pointing to an object. Just understand this, right? Later I'll discuss in brief with multiple examples in our course. Number of variables pointing to an object gives the reference count. If 4 variables pointing, reference count 4. If 3 variables pointing, reference count 3. If 1 variable pointing, reference. Otherwise, R. Number of variables storing address of a object. Okay. To make you understand, see this practically. Reference count means number of variables pointing to object. How many variables are pointing to this object? X is pointing to this object, Y is pointing, Z is pointing, right? So what is the reference count of this object? Everyone. Reference, everyone try to answer. Reference count is what? 3. Why reference count is 3 for this object 10 means X is pointing, Y is pointing, Z is pointing. Or X is storing this address, Y is storing this address, Z is storing. So reference count 3. Up to here it's fine. Now slowly
in
what?
Case 2, sir, in case 2, the reference count is 0.
One second, I'll come back to your queries right first. So here, what is reference count you understand here, and how it becomes 0 you understand here, right? So here later I'll come back to your queries. So here slowly what I will do, I will modify. If I modify the Y value to 20, if I modify the Y value to 20, right? Then for 20, a new object gets created with some new address. That address is given to Y. Y value modified. You modified the Y value and new object created with new address. What happens to this Y? This is removed. Now Y is not pointing to this 10. Y is pointing to the new object to 20, right? Y is pointing to the new object 20. Now Y is not pointing to 10. That is connection is removed. Now reference count becomes how much?
2.
Because only X and Z are pointing. That's why reference count to 2. Previously 3 were pointing. Now only 2 is pointing. Now slowly during this program execution, right? During you will modify the Z value to 30. Assume Z value got modified to 30. For 30, one object gets created with some address, right? That address is given to Z. Yes.
0.
Now Z is pointing to the new object. Now Z is not pointing to this old object 10. Z is made to point to the new object as Z value modified. What is the reference count now?
The 1.
1. Only X is pointing now. Previously 3 variables were pointing X, Y, Z. Now Y and Z, they are pointing to the new objects. Now only X is pointing. But slowly you modified the X value also to 50. Now one object gets created. Yes, that object address given to X.
0.
Now X is not pointing to this. X is pointing to 50. Reference count becomes 0. Now just now you are asking that how reference count becomes 0 means now reference count became 0. If reference count becomes 0, then immediately what happens? Immediately the object is removed by the garbage collector. So now observe here, reference count becomes 0, right? Now this object is unused object. Now this object is unreferred object, means none of the variables are referring it. None of the variables are using it. It unused or unreferred now in the memory. Means it is just kept as unused one. So what happens whenever any object reference count reaches 0, becomes 0, immediately that object gets removed by the garbage collector. Understood now everyone? What is garbage collector? How it removes an object, when it removes an object, when reference count becomes 0, how reference count becomes 0, and what is reference count, number of variables. Understood everyone? Is it clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Everyone?
Yes, sir. Sir, here, suppose again the X value or Y value, any other value we can update as a 10. So is it assign the old one or else it will create new?
No, sorry, x equal to 10. Once it got removed, right? X equal to 10. If you create again next, it may get the same address or it may get the different address.
Yes, yes.
It cannot. It doesn't mean that it should have the same address, right?
Okay.
Do we have finalize? There is no finalize here in garbage collector. We have got del is there. We got del. Okay. Fine. 1 second. Understood this point, right? Now, based on this observation, based on the discussion, right? Now go back to this. Go back to this case. Yes. Go back to this case 4 now. Now I was asking you, right? I was just asking. Yes. Please be in mute. Go back to the case 4. My query was x equal to 20, print x, it is printing 20 only. Address of x, it is printing this, right? Now, x equal to 10, what happens to the object 10? Now forget about x equal to 20 for some time. Now try to say about x equal to 10. Now an object created one address. What is the reference count of this object 10?
That's 0.
1.
1, right? 1. X is pointing to this. Forget about 20. I said x equal to
Yes, sir.
x equal to 10 only. Now reference count is 1 because x is pointing to this. Only one variable. Now slowly what I did, x value I modified to 20. Now x is pointing to the new object. Now x is not pointing to this. What is the reference count now?
0.
Now becomes 0.
0. Reference count to 0 means what happens? This object gets removed from the garbage collector. So what is now, what was my query? What happens to the previous object 10 means it gets removed. It gets
Excuse me,
removed.
sir.
X can stores the address of only one object. If I say x equal to 30 means this x equal to 20 gets removed. X will be pointing to the new object, right? Yes, understood everyone. Any queries here? Yes.
Sir, one query.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, if we update the value of x like from 20 to again 10, so in which location the value is stored? Like 1030 location or 1040 location?
Once this object got removed, right? Once it got removed, again if you are modifying the x value to 10, it may take that address or a new address. It not compulsory that this address only it will be given. Some address will be given.
Okay.
A new
sir.
object
Thank you.
gets created. But to extend your query, right? For example, everyone try to answer here. X equal to 10. One object created with value 10 with some address. The address is given to this. Y equal to x means same this x address only assigned to y. X address only assigned to y. Now slowly see, observe here. Now slowly I modified the x value to 30. 30 means one new object created, right? With value 30 with some new address. Yes, that address is given to x. Now x is not pointing. X is not pointing to this. X is pointing to the new object. Now what happens to the previous object 10? Is it available? Not available?
Not available.
Not available.
It's available.
Available.
Available at y.
Because reference count is 1. Because y is pointing, right? X is previously the reference count was 2. X was pointing, y was pointing. Now x is made to point to new object. Reference count becomes 1. It is not 0. If it is 0 only, it will be removed. Understand that. Y is pointing, right? X is not pointing, but y is pointing, right? If none of the variables pointing, then it will be removed, right? But y is still pointing to that. Okay, now just what you asked. Now what I will do? Later again, I will modify. I'll modify x to 10 again. I will modify x to 10 again. Now comment on this. Now what happens? A new object, or otherwise again I'm modifying x2 again to its original value 10. What happens now?
Now it will assign that 1030y value. It's already created.
In this case, what happens is, in this case, what happens?
Same object.
The response count will be 2.
That's the previous.
So here what happens? X equal to 10. If we say x equal to 10, this time the same, already this object 10 is available, right? It's not removed, right? Y was pointing, the same address will be given to x, and this will be removed because its reference count becomes 0. It was 1 previously. X is pointing, now x is not pointing to this, reference count becomes 0. In this case, it will take the same address. If the object is available, and again after some time, if you are giving the same value, same address will be taken. But once the object gets removed, if you are recreating x equal to 10, it may or may not take, right, the same address, right? So this is what happening internally whenever you define some variables in Python, variables, right? So understood everyone, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So this is what defining variables, how to print their values. So this, whatever we discussed today, I'm going to show you practically in the tomorrow session, right? Practically, I will show you the address, printing the content, printing the type, right? And more discussion on that, right? Yes.
Sir,
Yeah.
I think it's not possible because for understanding the message.
Some lag is there.
Will you provide this same video for?
So you will be
Later
getting
day?
you will be getting these videos, right? Everyone, you will be getting this video, right? Every session is video recorded, and also tomorrow I will just make notes, right? Okay, so okay, fine. Okay, just I'll tomorrow I will type this and I'll just show you these things, right? Fine. Yes.
Sir, tomorrow also demo is there.
One second. Any posting done? Okay, 1 second. Okay, so actually today only it was the last, right, demo, but still I'll be extending for one more day tomorrow. Tomorrow also you can just attend the session same time using the same link to see more on this, right? So everyone, you can attend the session tomorrow to see more on this. And tomorrow will be the last session. Tomorrow, the day after tomorrow onwards, the link will be changing. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, from day after tomorrow onwards,
Thank you.
the link changes, right? So tomorrow you can attend the session. We see more discussion on this. Tomorrow I'll be showing you everything practically. Today we have seen, right, what is happening internally, theoretically, but tomorrow I'll show you, right, how to print the values, their addresses, their types, right? Fine. Okay. So I'm any more queries, right? Anyone, right? So if you you'll be getting, everyone, you will be getting
Sir, tomorrow can you please make sure of your internet speed? Actually, sometimes it is lagging, sometimes it is.
no, actually for 10 minutes there was a power cut, right? So that's 10 minutes only. I think you are facing the problem. I was unable to access the internet, right, at the 10 minutes. Fine.
No, not only that time, sir. In the middle of the class also, I can observe that.
So is my voice clear or not? Everyone try to confirm now. Yes.
Yeah, it's clear. Yes.
Yes. So this is full stack Python. It will be full stack Python, right? So includes Python, Django, MySQL, UI technologies, course duration, everything, right? So yes. So that 70 or 75 days, it's only for Python, right? So it's 2 months, 2.5 months, whatever we have said, right? 75 days, it's only for Python course, not for the entire full stack. Entire full stack, it's totally 4 months. It will be like more than that. If you go parallel, you can go parallelly. Yes. So that as I said yesterday, right? For Python, right? Python, it is 5K, and for all that Django UI technologies REST API project, and for 20 applications creations for all that, it is 5K. But as a combo, if you are taking just for 9K, it's enough, right? That is the offer provided for you. Just for 9K, you can see all the full stack Python, right? Python core advanced application oriented modules, Django, REST API, HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, MySQL, all this you will be getting, right? Yes. So in some whenever I start any HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, you will be intimated. You will be attending those things parallelly, right, along with Python. For that, okay. Multiple batches I'll be starting Django batches at that time. You can attend parallelly also, right? Yes. So this is by 75 hours, whatever I said, it's only for Python course only. And for nearly again for 50 hours extra, you will see for full stack. Totally 125 hours, right? 4 months is the duration if you go for full stack. But only for Python, if I get some bigger sessions, I can complete in 2.5 months, right? So in brief, you will be getting great command on this Python, right? Everything in deep, in brief, like research type you will be discussing, right? So nothing like pre-written code, pre-written programs. It won't be brought. So just everything we'll be building the code step by step, line by line. Sessions will be interactive only. You can ask and doubts or queries at any time, right? The sessions are live sessions, and also you feel like it's a kind of classroom experience. I'm using the board like, so I'm not bringing any kind of PPTs, right? It's not any graphical, you're not learning any graphics or AWS, any other thing, right? So here everything I'll be just drawing the diagrams. Yes, it's like people, some of them think if it is a classroom, it will be much. It's like a classroom. The only thing is you cannot see my face. Regarding download access, yes, because I'm facing network issue, so can't watch live properly. No issue, I'm already enrolled. Yes, Devashish. Yeah, there won't be any downloadable access for any of this. So okay, that is up to that. You need to talk with that online team, or you need to talk with the front office, DURGASOFT, right?
I talked about them, but
so okay, we'll look into it. So we will look into it. I'll just have a talk with them, right? But downloadable access for anyone is not provided. So okay, any other queries, right? So we are running out of time. So if any other queries, you can also ask in tomorrow's session.
That by then both the front end and back end we will be able to develop.
So compulsory we require both, right, for developing a web applications.
Yes, sir.
So we follow MVT architecture, model view template. Model means database, views means Python, views are function, views are class views, templates means designing using HTML, CSS web page, how the interaction happens. So I said 20 applications you will be doing, you will be developing parallelly along with me step by step, right? So parallelly, when I go with Django applications creations, so you will be doing parallelly, okay? Whether you will log in into
HTML, CSS, and JavaScript together. JavaScript also will be learning.
Yes, JavaScript also you'll be learning.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Fine. Okay. So yes, so you can continue tomorrow with same link, same time, right? Tomorrow will be the last demo session, right? Thereafter, from day after tomorrow, the link will be changed. Those who got enrolled only, they'll be getting the link. Yes, and thereafter a WhatsApp group is going to get created. Day after tomorrow, a WhatsApp group will be created with the enrolled students for technical discussions, or if any other problems or issues if you have, you can just directly interact with me, right? Yes, Devashish, I'll just look into it. I'll let you know, right? Yes, fine. Okay, so I'm stopping here. We'll continue tomorrow. So at the same time, same link, right? Thank you all for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
So how do we enroll means? Yes, how to enroll means, I think you should have got some mails to your, they are totally given the process, right? The payment, how we can, the mode of payment, it is Google Pay or any other, right? All the details are, you will be getting to your mail IDs. You can check your mails. Yes, otherwise tomorrow at the session, while the session, even today also they have posted in the chat panel. You can see in the chat panel, right, the first message or second message, I hope, right? or tomorrow also
Yes.
they'll be posting you this. You can see a big message given by the online team. Can you see anyone? Everyone can see that?
Yeah, sir. It's available, sir.
It's totally the contact details for and their mode of payments, everything, right? So it is okay. I don't know what the cost that is mentioned. You can just, if you are going for full stack, it's 9K. Yes. Okay, I'm stopping here. We'll continue tomorrow. Yes.